What if the very vitamins you're taking to protect your health are silently draining the strength from your legs? It sounds unbelievable, shocking even, but for millions of seniors, this is not a theory. It's a lived experience. You wake up one morning, try to stand, and something feels different. Your legs, once dependable, feel heavier, slower, weaker. At first, you brush it off. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe you didn't sleep right. But then it happens again and again. Walking upstairs feels harder. Standing too long becomes uncomfortable. And every step feels like it takes more effort than it used to. This isn't just aging. It's something more, something deeper. And too often, it's overlooked. Today, we explore a truth hidden in plain sight. The foods, habits, and even vitamins that claim to support healthy aging may actually be contributing to leg weakness seniors experience far too often. This conversation is rooted in elderly wisdom, the collective lessons we've learned through time, pain, and persistence. And in that wisdom, we find clarity. Because if you've ever felt like you're losing your independence one stair at a time, this message is for you. You see, we've all been taught that vitamins are good, that a bottle from the pharmacy equals protection, that pills labeled essential mean safety. But when it comes to senior leg strength and mobility, two common vitamins, yes, vitamins, may be undermining everything you're trying to preserve. Before we get to those, let's take a step back. Imagine a warm slice of pie after dinner, or a soft cookie with your afternoon coffee. These sweet moments feel harmless, comforting. But inside the aging body, they ignite a storm. Elderly muscle health is fragile by nature, and sugar, particularly refined sugars, attacks it on every front. Consuming sweets regularly triggers chronic inflammation, which silently eats away at joint stability and muscle integrity. And while your taste buds might enjoy the indulgence, your muscles suffer. Inflammation makes your legs more sensitive, stiff, and vulnerable to pain. Even more insidious, sugar contributes to insulin resistance, draining your body's ability to turn glucose into muscular energy. Your muscles feel tired not because you've done too much, but because they can no longer recover. It doesn't end there. Extra sugar leads to extra weight. Every added pound puts additional pressure on joints and muscle fibers. For older adults already losing muscle mass due to age, this means the stakes are higher than ever. The very desserts that bring momentary joy may be setting the stage for long-term discomfort and loss of autonomy. And while the sugar itself is dangerous, the hidden chemicals inside processed desserts, preservatives, dyes, stabilizers, make the impact even worse. These additives distort your body's balance, amplify inflammation, and damage the blood flow your muscles need to heal and grow strong. The result? A slow, steady slide towards stiffness, heaviness, and instability. But there's a better path, one grounded in senior nutrition advice that doesn't demand deprivation. Opt for whole fruits with cinnamon instead of cakes. Choose handmade treats with lower sugar and cleaner ingredients. Your taste buds won't protest, and your legs will thank you. Fried foods are comfort food for many, but for aging bodies, they are a dangerous comfort. From French fries to golden brown nuggets, these crispy indulgences are loaded with trans and saturated fats that ignite inflammation, choke circulation, and accelerate muscle weakening in seniors. When your muscles can't get proper oxygen due to restricted blood flow, they don't just feel tired, they begin to atrophy. Fried foods harden arteries and promote plaque buildup, slowly choking off the very supply lines your legs rely on. They're also extremely energy draining. Your digestive system works overtime to break them down, leaving less fuel for your muscles to use. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling heavier or sore after a fried heavy meal? That's not your imagination. That's your body waving a red flag. As part of a healthy aging diet, switching to grilled, baked, or air-fried options can dramatically improve your strength, energy, and joint resilience. You're not giving up comfort. You're trading it for longevity. White bread. So common, so familiar. But for the elderly, it is a hidden contributor to leg weakness. Made from refined flour, white bread spikes blood sugar and lacks the fiber needed to support stable energy. It floods the bloodstream with quick carbs and leaves muscles starving for real nourishment. Over time, these blood sugar swings promote insulin resistance, and glucose becomes harder to absorb into muscle cells. The result? You feel drained even after resting. Muscle stiffness increases, and eventually the capacity for regeneration fades. As part of your daily choices, replacing white bread with whole grains like oats, flaxseed, or rye restores balance. These fiber-rich options feed your muscles and support consistent energy, directly impacting senior leg strength and performance. Pair them with protein, like eggs or avocado, and you've built a meal that fuels, not depletes your independence. For many, a glass of wine or a drink at dinner feels harmless, but after 60, the body's ability to metabolize alcohol declines dramatically. What once felt like a nightcap now turns into a full-body setback. Alcohol interferes with the absorption of critical minerals like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, all essential for muscle and bone health. Without them, your legs become more prone to cramps, spasms, and fractures. Alcohol also dehydrates your body, which reduces flexibility and increases the risk of muscle pain and nighttime discomfort. Even more concerning, alcohol delays muscle repair. After exertion, your legs should heal and strengthen, but under alcohol's influence, that recovery slows and pain lingers longer. Weight gain from alcohol further strains joints, and over time, this combination creates the perfect storm: reduced circulation, slower healing, and accelerated aging in the legs. Choosing moderation, or abstinence, is a powerful form of elderly wisdom. Replacing alcohol with herbal teas, water infused with citrus, or simply choosing dry days throughout the week can restore balance and vitality. There's a reason processed meats like bacon, sausage, and deli ham are so popular. They're convenient, flavorful, and familiar. But for those seeking to preserve senior leg strength, these foods come at a steep cost. They are packed with sodium and chemical preservatives that trigger systemic inflammation. That inflammation doesn't just affect your stomach or liver, it shows up in your legs. Your knees feel stiff in the morning. Your ankles ache after a walk. Your muscles feel drained after a simple errand. These aren't just random symptoms, they're signals. Processed meats also contain high levels of saturated fat that impair circulation. When blood flow is compromised, muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients. The legs, being the most used and gravity-bound part of the body, suffer first. Weakness sets in, coordination declines, and what was once effortless begins to require conscious effort. The preservatives in these meats, like nitrites, can even interfere with glucose metabolism, leaving your muscles starved of energy. It's no coincidence that elderly muscle health suffers more when diets are high in these artificial ingredients. A sandwich may seem like a simple choice, but the consequences can be profound. The good news is better options exist. Choose lean, whole sources of protein like eggs, chicken, or fresh fish. Replace ham with shredded chicken, bacon with avocado, sausage with scrambled eggs. Each small swap leads to a stronger stride, a more stable gait, and a deeper connection to your body's resilience. That's senior nutrition advice, rooted in action, not hype. Instant noodles may be quick, cheap, and satisfying, but they're one of the most destructive choices for anyone over 60. Often made with refined flour and a cocktail of additives, these processed meals offer calories without value. The sodium content alone is staggering. A single serving can exceed half of your daily recommended intake. This leads to fluid retention, which causes leg swelling and discomfort. You might notice your legs looking puffier after meals, your shoes fitting tighter, or a sensation of pressure that won't go away. High sodium also raises blood pressure, damaging circulation and impairing muscle regeneration. Your legs need a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients to maintain strength. When that flow is interrupted, tissue recovery slows and fatigue becomes the norm. The additives in the flavor packets, like monosodium glutamate, MSG, dyes, and preservatives, are known triggers of chronic inflammation. Over time, they worsen joint mobility and contribute to the sensation of heavy, aching legs. The muscles don't just get tired, they deteriorate. When it comes to vitamin risks seniors should understand, nutrition isn't just about what's added, it's about what's missing. Instant noodles lack protein, fiber, healthy fats, and the vitamins necessary for preserving lean mass. Instead, they overload your body with what it doesn't need. The solution isn't to starve, it's to choose better. Even a simple homemade broth with vegetables and rice noodles can deliver warmth without harm. Cooking with real ingredients supports the healthy aging diet your legs depend on. There's something nostalgic about a store-bought cake. The frosting, the layers, the scent, it all whispers of comfort. But that comfort often comes at the expense of your long-term vitality. Industrial cakes are filled with sugar, hydrogenated oils, and preservatives. These ingredients might delight your taste buds, but they inflame your joints, disrupt your metabolism, and directly impact elderly muscle health. Sugar encourages fat buildup, especially around the stomach. That extra weight shifts the body's balance and puts immense pressure on the knees, hips, and ankles. Trans fats, often used to extend shelf life, reduce good cholesterol and increase bad, restricting blood flow to your lower extremities. Without blood, your muscles can't recover. Without recovery, they weaken. Regularly eating these cakes leads to persistent inflammation, a key driver behind leg stiffness and instability. You might not link that delicious slice of chocolate cake to your sore knees, but your body does. Even worse, these desserts lack nutrients. No magnesium, no calcium, no muscle-repairing protein. Just empty calories that fill your stomach but leave your muscles undernourished. If you still crave a sweet treat, bake your own using whole grain flours, fruits, and natural oils. A cake made at home can still bring joy, but also nourishment. That's the heart of elderly wisdom, learning that pleasure doesn't have to come at the cost of strength. Cheese can be a wonderful source of protein and calcium, when it's real. But many of the processed cheeses found in supermarkets today are a far cry from the traditional blocks once aged with care. Processed slices, cheese spreads, and melted packs are loaded with sodium, saturated fats, phosphates, and preservatives. This combination is toxic to aging muscles. Sodium causes bloating and high blood pressure. Saturated fats restrict blood vessel flexibility. The result? poor circulation, muscle fatigue, and stiff aching legs. This is what leg weakness seniors face when their meals lean heavily on convenience over quality. Phosphates in these cheeses interfere with calcium and magnesium absorption, two minerals critical for muscle contraction and joint support. When those minerals become imbalanced, cramps, soreness, and nighttime discomfort become more frequent. Perhaps the most disheartening aspect is that many of these cheeses offer little to no protein, so while they fill you up, they don't support muscle maintenance. Over time, a diet high in processed cheese can contribute to sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass that robs seniors of their independence. Yet again, the solution lies in choices. Ricotta, cottage cheese, feta. These simpler, less processed varieties provide the benefits without the baggage. Pair them with whole grains or vegetables, and you have a meal that truly supports your senior leg strength. Few foods conjure childhood memories like ice cream. But for older adults, it often delivers more harm than happiness. Most commercial ice creams are high in saturated fats and refined sugar, a duo that invites inflammation, blood sugar instability, and poor circulation. After indulging, you might feel heavy, sluggish, or even experience leg cramps. That's not coincidence, it's biology. Sugar spikes your glucose levels, then drops them rapidly, leaving muscles without the steady energy they need to stay strong. Saturated fats constrict blood vessels, decreasing oxygen delivery to the limbs. And artificial additives like stabilizers, colorants, and emulsifiers compound the damage. Chronic inflammation, worsened by regular ice cream consumption, chips away at joint health and muscle function. Over time, your legs begin to lose the firmness and endurance they once had. This is why understanding vitamin risks seniors face isn't just about supplements, it's also about diet. But don't despair. Alternatives like frozen bananas blended with cocoa, Greek yogurt with fruit, or even a small scoop of high cocoa dark chocolate ice cream can offer sweetness without sabotage. With elderly wisdom, even dessert becomes a tool for strength. Milk chocolate holds a beloved place in many of our lives. It soothes, uplifts, and often feels like a well-earned reward. But after age 60, its impact becomes more than a fleeting sugar rush. With high levels of refined sugar and saturated fats, milk chocolate begins to damage what matters most: your mobility, your strength, your freedom. The simple sugars it contains are rapidly absorbed, causing insulin spikes that drain energy from your muscles. These surges are followed by sudden crashes, leaving you feeling weaker, foggier, and often craving more sugar, a vicious cycle. For those already facing age-related muscle decline, this volatility is particularly dangerous. Milk chocolate also contains very little actual cocoa, which is where the beneficial antioxidants live. Instead, most commercial bars are filled with additives, preservatives, and artificial flavorings that strain the liver, disrupt digestion, and prevent the absorption of vital nutrients like magnesium and calcium, both essential for elderly muscle health. What starts as a small indulgence slowly erodes your foundation. Your legs ache more. Your balance falters. Even standing for long periods can feel taxing. But here's the shift. Not all chocolate is the enemy. Dark chocolate, especially varieties with high cocoa content, above 70%, contains flavonoids that support circulation and may even reduce inflammation when consumed in moderation. The key is mindfulness, not restriction. Let your choices reflect elderly wisdom, a path where pleasure and health walk hand in hand. Canned foods seem innocent enough. They line our pantries, ready for quick meals. But under that convenience lies a deeper risk, one that directly affects senior leg strength and overall vitality. Many canned goods are loaded with sodium, preservatives like sodium benzoate, and even traces of heavy metals like aluminum. These ingredients trigger water retention, leading to leg swelling, discomfort, and a lingering sense of heaviness. If your legs feel tight or puffy after certain meals, your body may be reacting to more than just salt. Excessive sodium also elevates blood pressure, worsening circulation and starving the muscles of oxygen and nutrients. Without proper blood flow, your legs cannot perform, whether it's walking to the mailbox or climbing stairs. This is a core issue in leg weakness seniors frequently report. But there's more. The canning process often strips food of its natural vitamins and minerals, leaving you with calories and very little nourishment. Your muscles are engines, and without fuel, they sputter. Over time, this metabolic stress drains your energy and increases your dependency. A smarter approach? Choose fresh, frozen, or naturally preserved alternatives. Beans, vegetables, or soups made from scratch may take a few more minutes, but they return years of movement, dignity, and health. That's senior nutrition advice with lasting rewards. Cookies, crackers, snack packs. They're in every cupboard, passed out at every gathering. But these ultra-processed snacks are filled with trans fats, synthetic flavorings, and refined sugars that aggressively erode elderly muscle health. With little fiber, few vitamins, and almost no protein, they deliver a high-calorie punch and virtually no benefit. Instead, they overburden your liver and kidneys with toxins, disrupt your insulin response, and promote chronic inflammation. For seniors, this results in fatigue, sluggishness, and most dangerously, reduced leg control. Trans fats, often hidden under names like partially hydrogenated oils, harden arteries and reduce blood supply to the legs. That weakens the muscles, stiffens joints, and increases the likelihood of falls or accidents. These snacks also spike blood sugar only to drop it later, weakening the muscles in your lower limbs. And because they never truly satisfy hunger, they encourage more eating, creating a loop that gradually chips away at your strength. Replacing these with real snacks, nuts, fresh fruit, hard-boiled eggs, or yogurt can renew energy, stabilize blood sugar, and preserve your legs. In a world of easy choices, choose the one that keeps you walking forward. Flavor packets, soup cubes, frozen meals, ready-made sauces. They may save time, but they often contain one silent destroyer, monosodium glutamate, MSG. This flavor enhancer affects the nervous system directly and can wreak havoc on senior leg strength. MSG influences how nerves communicate with muscles. For sensitive individuals, this leads to headaches, tingling limbs, stiffness, and fatigue. Over time, frequent consumption damages neurons and impairs muscle control. You may notice trembling, leg heaviness, or difficulty walking, symptoms often mistaken for general aging, but actually caused by vitamin risks seniors overlook in food labeling. MSG also exacerbates inflammation, compromises joint flexibility, and promotes fluid retention in the legs. All of this limits how far and how long you can move before discomfort sets in. It hides behind names like yeast extract, hydrolyzed protein, or flavoring, but the impact is unmistakable. The fix? Cook with fresh garlic, herbs, onions, olive oil, lemon, or turmeric. Let your meals nourish you from within. That's the kind of elderly wisdom that doesn't just taste better, it lives longer. Now we arrive at the part you've been waiting for, the 2 most dangerous vitamins for your legs after 60. Let's be clear. Vitamins are essential, but excess is not harmless. In fact, too much of certain vitamins, especially through unmonitored supplements, poses serious risk. This is the less discussed side of vitamin risks seniors need to be aware of. The first, vitamin A. Yes, the same vitamin that supports vision and skin health. But when consumed excessively, particularly from supplements, it builds up in the liver and muscles. The result? Pain, stiffness, and weakness, especially in the legs and back. Many seniors report soreness or difficulty climbing stairs without realizing the root cause may lie in their supplement drawer. Excess vitamin A also interferes with the absorption of magnesium and calcium, which are essential for proper muscle contraction. Deficiency in those minerals leads to cramps, fatigue, and poor balance. Even worse, it contributes to bone demineralization, putting the hips and legs at greater risk for fractures. It doesn't take much. Between multivitamins, fortified foods, and certain medications, you could easily surpass safe limits. This is why senior nutrition advice always includes get tested, don't guess. The second offender may be even more surprising. Vitamin D. Often recommended for bone strength and immunity, vitamin D is essential, but only in the right amount. As a fat-soluble vitamin, it doesn't leave the body easily. When taken in high doses, especially without testing, it can cause hypercalcemia, too much calcium in the blood. This leads to leg cramps, muscle stiffness, burning sensations, and joint pain. Seniors often assume they're just aging, when in fact, they're experiencing symptoms of overdose. Excess vitamin D can also calcify soft tissues like tendons and muscles, particularly around the knees and thighs, reducing flexibility and increasing pain. Over time, this buildup severely limits mobility and coordination. It also stresses the kidneys, which worsens swelling and fatigue. These are not rare outcomes. They're increasingly common due to the rise in self-supplementation. Always consult a healthcare provider. Have your vitamin D levels checked before supplementing. What helps one person may harm another. That is the heart of elderly wisdom, choosing knowledge over assumption. Your legs carry you through life. They give you independence, balance, and strength. But too often, what we eat, and even the vitamins we trust, chip away at that foundation. This isn't just about food. It's about power. The power to stand on your own, to climb stairs, to walk your neighborhood, to dance with your grandchildren, and to do it with confidence. Through elderly wisdom, we gain not just insight, but options. We learn which vitamins to avoid seniors and which choices restore senior leg strength. We see how a healthy aging diet fuels more than muscles. It fuels hope. If this video helped you reflect, learn, or feel empowered, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video to let others know it's worth watching. Subscribe for more honest, practical guidance to support your health journey. Hit the notification bell so you never miss what might be the tip that changes your life. And please share this with someone you care about. Together, we can walk forward stronger, wiser, and freer. Thank you for being here. Until next time.